bud. Hello, internets. Hello, interwebs. Right. So, it turns out, wow, half a minute's gone by. And where's the content, I say? Oh, I also say nobody cares about. So, who cares? You're not watching this. They're not watching this. Nobody's watching this. Right? So, doesn't really matter. Say what you want. You can still have privacy out in public on the internet. I know it's contradictory and it doesn't really make sense because, of course, if somebody sees a video and then has a laugh and spreads it around saying, this idiot thinks you can have privacy in public, and then that video gets like 1 million views, then obviously that statement has failed in that context. However, consider this. You can actually have privacy in public. What do I mean? Well, first of all, if you just blast off enough noise and it turns out that that noise is not particularly interesting to people, well then you will have your privacy in public because no one will pay attention to it. And another thing is, if and do it in public in a way that it is registered forever, or as long as the thing that registers it exists, you can also maintain privacy. What do I mean? Well, Bitcoin. Huh? I thought Bitcoin was a public ledger. Yes, it is a public ledger of the history of the transactions on the Bitcoin blockchain. That is very true. So how can you maintain your privacy on a public ledger? Well, just because it's public doesn't mean you have to give your public information away. You can use a pseudonym, right? You can be pseudonymous. Technically, you can also be anonymous. How? Well, use non-conventional means of accessing the blockchain, of setting up a wallet, maintaining that wallet, and executing transactions. So, for example, do as Satoshi said, which is something that's always seemed quite obvious to me. Wallets are for single-purpose use. Yes, you can have wallets that have repeat functions and routine transactions going through them, etc. Make a lot of sense for efficiency, whatever. But when you're moving large transactions around, why would you not use a single transaction wallet? All right? So that is one way to do it. Another way is, first of all, use paper wallets. Right? Why are you using software wallets? Especially, why are you using software wallets that might be connected to a custodial service instead of keeping your own keys to yourself? Right? Why are you using anything that doesn't let you keep your own crypto keys to yourself? Why would you do that? Think about it. Where is the benefit to using custodial services that take the crypto out of your hands? That literally defeats the entire purpose of cryptocurrency. The purpose of cryptocurrency is to allow you to hold your currency and send it to anyone and receive it from anyone without any middleman. Not a bank, not a broker, not an exchange, not a platform, nothing. Just you and the peer engaged in the transaction transact directly, peer to peer. You owe Bob 75 for that t-shirt, hat, and sweatpants that you bought at his store. You send him 75 bucks. He gets 75 bucks. You sent it directly to him. He received it directly from you. There's no bank. There's no middleman. There's no credit card. There's no broker. There's no dealer. There's no exchange. There's no platform. There's no social network. There's no credit union. There's nothing in between the two of you. You send Bob the money. Bob receives the money. Period. End of story. How do you send it? You send it over a decentralized network, preferably. Or at the very least, a solid cryptographic network. If you're going to go use a centralized currency, that's your choice. Personally, as much as I like certain ones for certain projects, generally speaking, when it comes to actual transactions, I prefer the Gorilla, Bitcoin. Why? Because it is truly decentralized, right? Of all the cryptos out there, Bitcoin and Litecoin also, by the way, even though Litecoin has kind of, you could argue, has met its purpose and is just kind of an also-ran. Yeah, maybe, but it has a very strong use case. And other coins too, right? Monero, etc., right? Which I often tell people who don't really know about this space. Monero is what people think Bitcoin is. That's a common expression. That's a common saying about Monero, by the way. A lot of people say that. So it is very true. Like, people who don't know crypto and who only hear bad things about it especially, they think crypto is this nefarious, dark underworld, anonymous thing that lets you exchange magic internet money, electronic money directly to do illicit things. Fact is, coins like Monero arguably maintain your privacy far better than Bitcoin. Yet at the same time, there is zero evidence that it is used for the illicit purposes that people claim that cryptocurrency is used for, compared to, like, well, I don't know, cash, fiat money from your favorite government, or the government you are subjected to, whether you like them or not, and the money that they issue to you, whether you like it or not. So, yes, is it possible to be anonymous or pseudonymous with cryptocurrencies? 100%. Does it take a little bit more effort than if you just open up a centralized wallet that has all kinds of hooks into your information? Yeah, it takes a tiny bit more effort. Maybe a little bit more resources, depending on how you're going to go about securing that wallet or getting a hardware one stored offline, whatever. But not necessarily. You could write a paper wallet, right? Those do exist. Paper wallets are real. Bitcoin paper wallets are a real thing. And frankly, I highly recommend them. As long as you keep your paper safe. And let's be real here. You need paper anyway when it comes to Bitcoin or other cryptos, or you should. Because you should have offline copies, meaning printed copies or written copies, preferably not printed, preferably written by hand in multiple copies of things like seed phrases, right, recovery phrases, passwords, etc., that you want to keep offline. And you don't ever want to actually print them on your machines, because guess what? Your machines have memory. Your printers have memory. If you write something on your computer and then print to your machine, you have it stored in the memory of the computer. You have it stored in the memory of the printer. And if you use a Wi-Fi router to transmit that information instead of a direct connection to your printer, you might have it stored somewhere on there too if the router has some memory, right? Because there are certainly routers that are more than just routers. and they process all kinds of other information, and they can have memory on them. So, best practice is to not save your seeds and recovery phrases, passwords on your computer, ever. That should be obvious. Or on your mobile phone, ever. That should be obvious. And I know you'll tell me, but mobile phones are very secure. Even more secure than computers. Well, you may want to believe that. And it may be the case in many cases. But I will tell you one word that will knock your socks off and make you think otherwise, unless you just don't understand how things work. And that word is Pegasus. Wait, what? Yeah. Well, if you didn't hear me, rewind the video. There is a firm that makes cyber technology for surveilling the activities of every phone that they target. And, oh, by the way, they don't actually have to get onto your phone, right? They can get the information they need from your phone through a variety of ways that don't even include having to insert software on your phone that you then click on and give them access to, right? That's kind of old school cracking technique or hacking technique. They don't need that. They figured out ways to just get on your phone. If they know your number, consider yourself hacked. Right? If your phone has an active number, consider it hacked. And who are their clients? Well, governments, right? Name one that has any amount of resources that they spend on military intelligence and surveillance. Yeah, no, they have it, right? And they get it from that company. There are a few competitors, nothing like them. They're embroiled in all kinds of suits. They've defended themselves against all kinds of accusations. It doesn't really matter. It's a little company based out of Herzliya Pituach, a town in Israel where there's a lot of tech firms. And they've taken a lot of heat in recent years for selling their wares to, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and other governments that may not have the best reputation when it comes to respecting human rights, etc. And plenty of others that have nominally good human rights, and still they come under accusations of helping them abuse human rights and violate people's privacy, etc., etc. Well, there's your other reason why you don't keep anything on your phone. If I had to make it clearer than that, I don't really know how. Like if you store a seed phrase on a phone, you're just asking for problems, right? And because your phone is hacked, right? From the very moment it exists with a phone number and is on a network connected, your phone is hacked. It doesn't really matter if you think it isn't. If you think you do everything to secure it, none of that matters. The phone is on the network. The data is on the network. Even if you keep your data only exclusively on your phone, and you only use certain kinds of phones and certain kinds of storing devices, it doesn't matter. Your phone is hacked. It doesn't matter if you're buying, Gavin's smart, safe phone or whatever, because he worked in the industry. He knows how to keep your phone safe. None of that matters. Your phone is hacked. Okay? All phones are hacked. You don't like it? Don't use phones. You want your privacy? Use Bitcoin anonymously. That's what I have to say about that. Have a nice day. Happy trading. Bye.